Hello everyone, this is Ross from Retro Dream Beam. I'm an eBay seller full-time. I've been doing this with my fiance Netta for a couple years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. So I'm about to go into what we are shipping out today on Thursday, which was like a really low amount of items. Like last night there was only 2 items sold, which is like pretty much nearly unheard of for us. Sorry, excuse me. Ooh, my brain has a little bit of fog right now. I had like a weird burp there. But yeah, over the night, 3 more items sold, and then one more thing. Someone sent an offer when I was at the storage unit. They didn't pay for it yet, so I can't ship it out, but they just paid for it right before I started filming this. And then there's like 2 other things for waiting for payment. So I ended up like rounding out to be okay, but it's always annoying because eBay will have some ups and downs. And you just kind of have to go with the flow, and you can only focus on what you can control. But I was definitely annoyed. But one of those 2 sales was pretty good, but we'll get to that at the end. So the first thing right here is a bunch of these. It's like DK Karaoke Edit a Vision CD number 57. It's gonna have a bunch of different songs for like a karaoke machine. Anetta got like a really good deal a long time ago. She spent, I don't know, it was at like a random thrift store. She basically got this like full set for like 25 or 50 bucks. It didn't have like an actual machine, but it had all these like rare different CDs that people would want. So like we've been still selling them to the day. She got that a long time ago. There was also like a special edition kit that we sold for like $200. So it was like a really one of Hanetta's like really good home runs. But yeah, this CD itself, just the one, sold for $7.99. But there was a lot of like different karaoke CDs and stuff like that. So kind of learned through Anetta, through her getting that's like a good thing you can keep an eye out for. I don't know how it is like today, but when she got it, we like sold a bunch of the stuff. All right, next up is going to be this Malign Portents. This is a Combat Gauge. I just did a video over the weekend of the mini Warhammer collection we got with the Hololive card game, official card game, Japanese cards. So sometimes the person just throws in stuff, and since he was giving me his Age of Sigmar stuff, he said he wasn't going to be playing that. He was going to be playing a miniature game called, I think, Hobgoblin, and then he got into Warhammer, the Old War. I think it's called the Old War, which is like the fantasy one that they just released in 2024. So I got all his other stuff that he wasn't going to use anymore. But yeah, I don't know if this is like a faction or something for Age of Sigmar. Like I said, it says Malign Portents, but this is a little gauge for people that don't know. You use it to kind of measure like reach. Let's say someone has like an axe or like a spear, and then you put it next to the miniature and it just shows like how close they are on the table, if they can actually like reach them. And I think you can use this for a little bit of movements. But yeah, this little combat gauge sold for $17.59. All right, next up, I'm going to talk a bit about this, but for a different reason. So this is a Doom 2016 Bethesda's. This is like a poster. It's going to unfurl. I'll try to be careful here since I don't have many items. I have a little bit more time to spend with you guys on like an individual item. But yeah, I just want to be careful with it. It does have a little bit of wear, but yeah, it's double-sided. So I don't know how much you guys can see right now. There's only so much I can do right here with because the corners like furl up. So yeah, this is just the video game. I loved like the Doom game, the 90s one or whatever. That was one of the first 5 like PC games or games I ever played. A lot of fun. I still like it to this day. I never actually played the Bethesda one. I saw my brother play it and just reminded me of Halo, and I played so much Halo. So at the time I was just like kind of burnt out of the like space marine hero fighting off some kind of either aliens, or in this you're fighting demons. So yeah, I never actually played this one. I have access to get it at my library. I do eventually one day want to play it, but anytime I want to play this one, I have the 90s version for different systems. I got one from my brother for N64. I have the PC one. So yeah, I just really love this game. It's just a good shooter game. All right, just good memories, like very nostalgic for me. I'm just like digging in and feeling the good memories. But yeah, this poster sold for $20. I know a lot of people like the Doom 2016. I think there was a couple others. I think there was one that released this year or back end of last year that a lot of people like as well. But to me, it just doesn't hit like the 90s one. All right, move along. We have this right here, Wargaming Irregular Miniatures, Metal Miniatures. These are 2mm, super cool. I've been selling these since I listed them like a month ago. I didn't know that they were the brand Irregular Miniatures until someone reached out and they told me I would sell more if I changed my title. I generally listen to people when they tell me that because I just had like generic keywords, as many as I could, to try to get people to find these tiny miniatures. And I have been selling them since. They're going to repeat buyers. So one of the people that picked up some want to grab some more. $19.19. And this was the only reason why. So I had these 2 sales before I had the other ones. So I was having a really low like quantity day. But this right here is going to be revised edition for Judges Guild, City State of the Invincible Overlord, plain aid, which is like a whole module in here in pretty good condition. It's like a B minus. It's still on like the Stapleton stuff, but there is definitely like some like crumbling and some wear and tear. And then also the map, which is in pretty good shape. This thing is like a rare oddity. I saw a bunch of people selling like this stuff for a lot. I ended up selling this for $119.99. So this was at one point only these two sales were in, but I think these were better than one of my higher quantity but lower sale days. So I wasn't too freaked out. I was just annoyed. I want to sell a little bit more stuff because it's really nice to have these like big chunky sales and then to have a bunch of like smaller sales, like a bunch of fries or whatever is just how I see it in my head. So it just makes like a good total number. The only thing that actually matters is just the money that comes into our bank account, make sure that we pay for bills. That's like the really only thing. But like the idea of selling like a good price item and then a bunch of small ones, that's like kind of like the best case scenario. But yeah, I don't know too much about Judges Guild, unfortunately. I've sold a lot of the stuff. I know it has to do with some history with Dungeons and Dragons or TSR. I think Judges Guild stuff is still to this day. This is like an older one from like the 80s or something, which is why it sold for a lot more. I sold like a map for like $70 from Judges Guild, like a vintage one. So I also, like I said, I think there's some like more modern ones that don't sell for as much, but I want to say it's just like a group of people that they were either working with TSR or something, or they kind of like branched off. It was something like I had someone explain it one time, but it's been a while and I don't have as much like the role playing game lore like in my head or the history of it. But when I saw this, I was like, oh, this could be good because I saw Judges Guild and I saw that was just like an older one and I was correct. So got super lucky with this one. All right. That's everything. All right. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Hope everyone's having a good like week so far.